Amrita, thank you so much for joining us today at H-Farm College for our talk.
Thank you for having me, Eleonora.
We know that by the end of the year, by the end of 2021, the value of global e-commerce will reach $4.2 trillion. It's a huge amount of money. And we know that projections say that the sales given by e-commerce will increase even further in the coming years. Now, in this kind of scenario, a reality like Obsess, the company you work for, where does this fit? What is to come?
Yeah, that's really interesting that you bring this. So e-commerce and retail stores, the two established sales channels that today retailers, brands across the world are talking about. So if you think about omni-channel as, a strategy, as an ecosystem, it's very much been restricted in terms of brand experience to retail stores, physical, events. But the brand experience on any of the other touch points has been very limited, especially on their own e-commerce sites, where it's very much about, search, page by page, and then transaction. So it's very much a filter and transaction sort of interface. It's not anything to do with brand experience, something like when you go to Monte Napoleone, when you step into the world of a luxury, brand, you're fully immersed into that brand. But if you go on e-commerce site, irrespective of the price point, irrespective of the category, whether you go to buy electronics, fashion, beauty, it's all the same. Because e-commerce in the back end has been worked on a lot, but in the front end, it's still the same interface that was created first by Amazon to sell books online. And somehow today, everything is still being sold in the same way.
I get your point, and I see that Obsess came at the right time when things were already moving.
We are, creating these very experiential spaces and using virtual reality and augmented reality for brands to create these, environments where customers can shop in this, in a very discovery-driven manner, in an intuitive manner, in 3D 360. As humans, we're used to seeing a world in the spatial format. So now if you're also able to shop in a spatial format online, it's just intuitive. It's just how, as humans, we are, interacting with the world and we are used to.
Yeah.
So that's really, sort of the evolution of e-commerce. It's going to move away from this dry catalog-like interface that we've been using for all these years to something more, interactive and immersive.
So Amrita, you mentioned virtual reality, augmented reality. We talk about innovation and new technologies. Now, these businesses come to life like Obsess because you have visionary people like the CEO of Obsess, but they need talents. They need talents that help them develop the idea. Now, with these new technologies, I'm pretty sure, and you can testify this, that we need a new class of managers. We need new professionals who can step in and give their point of view on how to best use these technologies.
Yeah, so that's a great question, Eleonora, because if you think about today's brands, annual meetings where they review the performance or where they allocate the budget for the next years, there are dedicated budgets for marketing, for communication, for e-commerce, for new flagship stores. So it's sort of that set pattern that has been going on. But then today brands do realize that their customers want to do virtual try-on. Personalization is a big element, virtual reality, lots of other aspects of this whole ecosystem that's developing around digital brand worlds like live chat, live streaming. So where are those sort of managers and responsibles within those brands? And those are the ones that are starting today, because they are the ones who are going to be bringing these innovations into the brands. So new technologies across everything that I said, everything else like AI, blockchain, these technologies are so important today as, young talents to know about, to be aware of, and then pick the ones that you're most interested in, go deeper into it, because that's what the brands need tomorrow and even today. But there's still a gap. So you can fill that gap because, brands are entering that era where they'll have a whole ecosystem of these digital technologies but as a talent, you should be able to support the brands in getting into that, next step of digital transformation. So definitely,
there's a need.
There's definitely a need.
There's a need of talent.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Amrita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.